some advice before you decide to live in the Japanese countryside as a foreigner. The first piece of advice I would give you is to learn the language. If you're able to learn even a decent amount of Japanese, you are able to develop relationships with the Japanese people a lot easier. You are able to understand how the Japanese society functions, and you feel like you're part of the community, and you won't feel so alienated because of the fact that you are a foreigner. So learning the language makes your life a whole lot easier. The second thing would be to make friends with not just Japanese people, but also with other foreigners. Even if there's just one foreigner living in your village or your town, it's good to keep in communication with that person in case you need help with anything, and to also be able to vent out your problems and issues to someone who can understand your language, right? And you can help each other out. It makes you feel like you have a support system behind your back. If you do not have any other foreigners around you, or you just don't get along with any of the foreigners around you, try to maintain a relationship with a good friend, like a loved one or a good friend of yours back in your home country, and you call them and speak to them periodically. So once a week or once every 2 weeks, but make sure you keep it fixed. So that way, as I said before, you're able to have that sense of comfort and familiarity, and you also have a source to vent out your stresses or problems that you are facing while living in a foreign country. The next piece of advice I would give you is to join something in the community, like whether you want to volunteer at a local church or you want to volunteer at The last piece of advice that I want to give you, and I think this is probably one of the most important pieces of advice, is to exercise daily. By exercising daily, you're able to, stay healthy, obviously. You have more energy, your mood is elevated, you feel more happier. And it's a good stress reliever in that sense, right? Even if you're just walking, if you do like a walk before work around your block, or, you're lifting a bit of light weights, or you're doing a bit of a run or something like that, it makes a huge difference, right? Living alone, and if you come to Japan and you're living alone, especially in the countryside, it can get very lonely, and it can get quite depressing if you are not moving and not doing something, right? So make sure you do this. And those are the top tips.